In my experience, what really drives an attractive woman crazy isn't just being ignored, but being ignored by an average or below average looking guy. To them, a guy like that should be drooling all over themselves just to be in her presence, let alone bothering to communicate with them. Studies show that men would rather work with other men than with women. This only serves to demonstrate how increasingly wary males have become of women throughout time, especially in the last 10 years, and how much they would prefer to communicate and work with other guys. In cubicles, meetings, and boardrooms, they prefer to work with other males rather than women because they can share information, talk about ideas, and organize their schedules together. They do this out of fear of losing the career they have worked so hard and so long to establish. One false charge might mean losing everything. One false accusation might end up being the villain in a society that mostly considers and believes what women say. So, don't blame males. Men are able to witness what has occurred over time, particularly with the rise of the Me Too campaign. They don't want to bear responsibility for something they did not commit. They don't want to lose their jobs, status, and position in society. Just to be clear, men are not saying that they are the only ones that are terrified of women here. Women also seem to be hiring fewer women in general. Also, keep in mind that studies show that 80% to 100% of HR departments are made up of women. What a waste of diversity. If you think that the accused guy will be given a fair, accurate, and impartial assessment of the case's facts, think twice. According to HR experts, harassment offenses are the only workplace wrongdoing that is fully up to the employee's judgment and discretion. Two different men can say the same words to the same female coworker, and she can accuse the one of harassment and relish the comments of the other. Effectively, there is no universal standard defining harassment, as there is, let's say, theft. The definition of theft is the same for all employees. So are the consequences clearly delineated in the employee handbook? But what makes the study so remarkable is how thoroughly it refutes the idea that men lack a clear understanding of what constitutes improper behavior. The researchers' initial step was to evaluate 19 acts to decide whether or not to label them as harassment. One example of this is emailing subordinates explicit messages. Both genders largely agree on what harassment entails, and most men and women, respectively, are aware of what it is. One of the authors of the study told the Harvard Business Review that it is mostly inaccurate to suggest that men don't realize their behavior is inappropriate and that women are making a mountain out of a molehill. If anything, women define harassment more broadly than males. Most males are able to distinguish between a lovely hug and a wicked one. They are fully aware of what is considered harassment. However, from the viewpoint of a woman, any behavior qualifies as harassment. A line manager can set up an instance in which a subordinate or junior team member is seen with the manager in the CCTV cameras as he speaks to her and gives her instructions on how to approach a particular project. And she can then essentially fabricate a story about how he was trying to harass her. This might happen if the subordinate or junior team member is asked to stay late at the office for an hour. And what about that? HR would have the woman's word. In order to prevent any potential issues that could jeopardize their entire professions, it makes reasonable that men would want to avoid being alone with women. Women have begun to criticize this because they feel left out. They are no longer required to work more diligently on projects and complete them at the office in the early hours of the morning. People prefer to invite guys to stay late and work with them since they know their careers won't be in danger. Therefore, when women claim that men ignore and isolate them at work, it is only because males have everything to lose if they are denounced for any bogus accusations, whereas a woman has everything to gain. For men to feel comfortable near women again at work, women need to let go of their anti-male rhetoric. However, it doesn't seem likely that will happen for a while, and so, we will keep on seeing women freak out with everything men do and don't do at work. That's how crazy it is. It's absurd how doing your job and treating work as work makes women uncomfortable with male colleagues. Men really cannot do anything right at the workplace, it seems. If a man does his work, is professional and polite, and doesn't indulge in any extra conversations, women have a problem. If a man indulges in conversations with women and does his work as well, woman will still have a problem. If a woman flirts and the man responds, woman will have a problem. If a woman flirts with him and he doesn't respond, women will again have a problem. The way women behave nowadays has made me and many men look at women as potential risks to their entire careers. Their behavior has just reached a point where I have trouble keeping a conversation going with them for a long time before I'm just tired of talking to them. They can dress as cute as they want, but it will not hide how absurdly annoying and immature they have become. Men are just avoiding anything that could even be remotely misunderstood and get men in trouble. Never date a woman in the place you work. Once you break up, then it becomes awkward and sometimes toxic. I know it's convenient, but don't do it. Keep conversations about the business only and ignore the women as much as possible. Men are guilty until proven innocent, and women are innocent until proven guilty. Unfortunately, today it's more like guilty even when proven innocent, and innocent even when proven guilty. It wasn't long before women complained about the male gaze, compliments, dating pressures, etc. So men gave them what they wanted and started to ignore them. Now they complain about the lack of attention. This is proof they don't know what they want. When a woman asks about her personal life at work, just say, "There's not much to tell. I'm a pretty boring person," or words to that effect. Also, every time you get in some kind of meeting or call, make it clear at the start of the conversation that you are busy and that you only have limited time. This will give you cause to end the conversation. After business has concluded, and avoid having to do small talk at the end of the conversation. Women talk a lot in meetings, as everybody will have experienced. If you don't take control and leave when needed, you'd be listening for 2 hours every day to these women talk. A long time ago, workplace harassment used to be if your boss pushed you into unwanted intimacy in order to keep your job or get a promotion. Now, if you look at someone the wrong way, you can get sent to HR and get fired. It is too easy to just not have anything to do with them because of what they might do. When you are guilty and not even given a chance to prove your side of the case. In the job world today, I would never be alone with a woman unless it was recorded with sound, so I could prove her wrong if she decided to bring charges after you piss her off somehow. My reputation is too important to me, and to hell with her feelings. If you talk to them, you're harassing them. If you don't talk to them, you're making them uncomfortable. One of the biggest mistakes we ever made was simultaneously allowing women into the workplace while at the same time letting them pass laws that said the workplace should adapt to suit women's attitudes and behaviors instead of the other way around. All women do is complain. If you say hi to a woman, then she will complain. If he is working, she will complain. If he is stupid enough to ask her out, she will complain. All women do is complain. Isn't it funny how these women will come on the internet spewing venom about men approaching them in any way? We saw a video the other day from a woman who said a man in a parking lot was 30 feet away and said, "Excuse me, miss," and by her own words, she went crazy on the man for saying just that and being within 30 feet of her. Nowadays, until you can prove your innocence, you are guilty. Men are most afraid of this. God forbid if a woman even alleges untruly that a guy harassed her at work, that man will lose his job and any chance of getting another employment in the future, along with his reputation and self-esteem. That is the enormous advantage that women have over men at work. We had a whole Me Too movement where we had literal land whales complaining if men in the workforce looked at them too long or in the wrong way. We have women complaining over the male gaze. So men are now keeping a respectful distance at work and only interacting with women at work, about work. Women can complain all they want, but men have mouths to feed and not designer bags to purchase. They're better off being cautious. Thanks for watching The Circle of Kings. As always, we're looking forward to your support, so please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything all kings like yourself need to know.